Stripe processes payments as event chains. Each payment must follow this valid order: payment created, payment captured, payment settled, and optionally payment refunded. The logic to identify the broken chains includes any missing payment captured, missing payment settled, payment refunded without prior payment settled, so any events happening out of order or any missing events. And we are asked to identify the payment IDs with broken or incomplete event chains. We're going to use the table called payment events. We can see that we have payment ID, event type, and event time. Now let's take a look at payment ID 101. We can see that we have 3 consecutive events: payment created, captured, and settled. And that's the expected order. So this is a valid payment. Let's take a look at 104, which presents a different scenario. So we have payment created, captured, and refund, but the payment settlement is missing. And as per the expected order, the refund can only happen once the payment settlement is there. So we are again going to identify it as a broken chain because the refund was done without a settlement event. Now let's see how we can solve this SQL problem. So in our first step, to identify the previous event in the timeline for each payment, we are going to use lag. We are going to use it on event type. And since we are going to identify it for each payment, we have to partition by payment ID and then order by the event time. And this is going to be our previous event. Let's put this within a CTE. So with CTE previous events as, and now let's frame the next select query, which is going to select from the CTE. Now we need to have 2 logic checks to the output from the CTE. First, to identify any missing events, and secondly, to identify an invalid order. Now we're going to start applying a logic. So the first logic that we're applying is to identify that there are no missing event types out of the 3 that are necessary. So we're going to use the case statement for that. We're going to say case when event type is equal to payment created, then 1 else 0, and as let's say flag created. And then we are going to replicate this logic for the other 2 events as well. So let's just copy this case, and this is going to be payment. Okay, so there is an underscore here. We can just capture this from here: payment captured and payment settled, and we can change the flag names accordingly. So these 3 case statements identify any missing event type. Now that we have the logic to identify any missing event types, next we are going to frame a logic, again using the case statement, to identify any invalid transitions or invalid order of events. So we are going to write another case statement. We are going to check. The first check is going to be when event type is equal to payment captured and previous event is not equal to payment created, then we are going to flag it as 1. The next condition we are going to check in the same case statement is that when event type is payment settled, but the previous event type is not payment captured, then 1. And one more condition, if in case there is an event type for payment refunded, then we expect it to be settled first, and that's what we're going to check here. So if there are any incorrect transitions, they're going to be flagged as 1. All of the transitions are going to get a flag of 0. We are going to call it as invalid transitions. Now if we execute this query, we get the flags set for each record for the payment IDs. So each event type for each payment ID. Now we are going to aggregate our results so that we get a single record for each payment ID with the flags set as 1, either if there's any missing transaction or any invalid transaction. What we can do in that case is just use a max function on top of our case statements. So what these first three case statements are now going to do is return a 0 for either of these three flags in case there is a missing event. And a max on an invalid transaction flag is going to return a 1 in case there is even a single invalid transaction. So how a case statement works with multiple conditions is that it checks each condition starting from the top. As soon as the first condition is satisfied, it exits the case statement. So let's say this condition is true, which means there is an invalid transaction. The case statement is not going to proceed to check conditions 2 and 3 because the first condition has already been met. Therefore, as soon as there is an invalid transaction, the invalid transaction flag is going to be set to 1, and the max is always going to be 1 in case there's an invalid transaction. Now, since we have applied the aggregate function max, we need to group by the payment ID. And we need to include the payment ID here. We cannot have a star. So execute, and you have all these flags that you can see over here. You can put this within another CTE called CTE validation, and then we can select the payment IDs from the CTE validation by applying the filter on the first three flags as 0. So any missing event type will have a flag of 0, or like captured is 0, or like settled is 0, or check the flag for invalid transitions. Invalid transitions is 1. Execute, and you're going to be able to correctly identify the payment IDs which had either events missing or invalid order of events.